Hey, what is up, boys? I'm back with another one. We're gonna be talking about the next UFC card, Song versus Gutierrez in the main event. We have some really good banger matchups on this card. We're coming off not the best card picks wise. I went 5-7. I mean, probably the only card I went negative on picks this year. But we did pretty good on props. I mean, for best bets, not really the best look for best bets. I think I went 2-3 on best bets. I had Kelvin Gastelum in there, which was one of the worst picks I've ever made. I mean, Kevin Gastelum got ragdolled like never before. I mean, Brady's grappling is just next level. I just didn't think his grappling was gonna look that good, but Brady looked like a freaking like a Dagestani out there. I mean, holy shit, Brady's the real deal. But and then we had at least our lock of the week hit. I mean, lock of the week I called Armin Sarukian knockout, and he made it look super easy. I mean, what more can you ask for? The prop of the week hit. I mean, prop of the week was under 3.5 rounds at plus 100. I gave you guys that plus money prop of the week too, so I'm happy about that. I'm happy that my lock of the week came through. I gave you guys a prop, plus money prop on the last lock of the week, which is Morales round 3 or decision plus 155, and then I gave you guys another plus money prop on the main event on Armin Sarukian by KO plus 150 and under 3.5 rounds. So I can't be too pissed off because my lock of the week came through, and what more can I ask for? So I'm not too disappointed. It is what it is. Probably the only time I've gone negative on picks this year. So we're gonna move on now. I'm gonna bring the fire for next week. I'm doing research already. I'm gonna bring you guys some plus money props for the next card, and in this video we're gonna be talking about the picks video. This is a picks video. We're just gonna go over picks all over. We're just gonna go over all the picks. I already made an early picks video, and they have added some fights. They added the Costa versus Garcia fight on this card because Garcia had food poisoning. I think it was food poisoning. I could be wrong, but I heard he was sick. So now they've rebooked that. I mean, they have that fight on this card. And then we also have Daniel Marcos versus he's welcoming debutee. What's his name? He's welcoming Carlos Vera. I watched some fight tip on him. He's already not the worst guy out there. Then we also have another fight on this card, right? Which fight was that? Anthony Smith versus Rountree. That's gonna be a really good matchup. Let's get into it, guys. So the first fight on the card, we have Rayanne dos Santos taking on Talita Alencar. And I've been picking Rayanne dos Santos. I picked her in my early picks video, and I think she's gonna get it done. She's got good enough grappling. She's got her foundation in MMA was grappling, so I don't think Talita Alencar is gonna take her down and just bully her on the ground or anything like that. I don't think we're gonna see like what we saw with Kevin Gastelum. I picked Rayanne dos Santos in Invicta in her last fight as an underdog. She was plus 125 underdog, and when most people were picking against her there, and I believed in her skill set there, and I believe in her skill set here. I think she's got good enough grappling to fend off any submission attempts from Talita Alencar. And Alencar, the longer the fight goes, I mean, she hasn't had good. The fight on Dana White Contender Series wasn't a good look for her. She got extremely tired and almost got finished in that third round. I mean, some referees would have stopped that fight in my opinion, but she's got good grappling, but her striking is just way. There's a big difference in striking. I think Rayanne dos Santos is gonna school her in the striking, and I'm gonna pick Rayanne dos Santos by decision. I think Talita Alencar is tough enough. I don't think she's gonna get knocked out or anything like that. Let's look at the lines. I mean, they have on Bet Online. I mean, they have dos Santos at minus 180. I mean, no, that's the round prop. Okay, let me pull up the. So they have Rayanne dos Santos at minus 155, and then the comeback on Talita Alencar plus 135. I took a shot on her at plus minus 120 when the lines opened up. In my early picks video, I told you guys I only put like a 1.2 units. I mean, not anything big or anything, but I don't trust her that much. But I do think she can get the win here. If you can get that line, anything under minus 150, I think is worth playing. I mean, Talita Alencar, the longer this fight goes, I think it's going to go to decision. And I think maybe Alencar wins the first round, gets a takedown, or gets some control time. But I don't think she's going to get a submission. So we're going to go Rayanne dos Santos by decision. If you guys don't want to play either side, you can take the over 2.5 rounds minus 180. I like that a lot. I think that's a good parlay piece. And I think you can even bet the Rayanne dos Santos by decision. But the third round is going to be worrying. If you guys played over 2.5, you're going to have to sweat a little bit in the third round because But Talita Alencar took that fight on short notice, so maybe that's what really got her really tired, because he didn't have enough. Didn't train enough for that fight on the NY Contender Series. But for this fight, he had a full camp, and I think her cardio is gonna look a little bit better. But I do think Dos Santos is gonna be the one landing damage, having the bigger moments in the fight. And I think even if Talita Alencar gets some grappling going, get some takedowns, we all see nowadays judges, they don't really care about the control time or takedowns or anything like that. You gotta land some damaging shots. You gotta land some ground and pound. So we're gonna go Rayanne Dos Santos by decision. The props aren't out yet, but the overs and unders are out on Bet Online, and I do like the over 2.5 rounds. Let's go. So Rayanne Dos Santos by decision is the pick. Let's go to the next one, guys. Next up, we got Tatsuro Taira taking on Carlos Hernandez. And after watching Tatsuro Taira's fight, his fight tape, he's looked really good. I know he had a tough fight against Edgar Cyrus, but Edgar Cyrus is a tough customer. He's faced some good level of competition even outside the UFC. So he almost got submitted by Edgar Cyrus, but I think it was at the end of the third round. I could be wrong, but I think it was at the end of the third round. But in this fight, I don't think he's gonna have to worry about Carlos Hernandez grappling. Carlos Hernandez is a good all around. He's got good grappling, good striking, but he just got kind of bullied by Allan Nascimento. When you go watch that fight again, he just didn't really have an answer for Nascimento's grappling. And I think Tatsuro Taira's got better grappling than Nascimento, in my opinion. And I'm going to go Tatsuro Taira by submission. I think I picked him by decision first. But with the more I look into this fight, I think Tatsuro Taira is going to get it done. And I think he's going to make it look easy. Carlos Hernandez, if this fight stays on the feet, I think that's going to be Carlos Hernandez's best chance. But I do think Tatsuro Taira is going to get some takedowns going. I think what's Carlos Hernandez's takedown defense? I think his takedown defense, it's got to be like 60. His takedown defense is what? 49%. That's not good enough for Tatsuro Taira. I think he's gonna give up some takedowns early, and I think he's gonna get submitted. So I do like the under 1.5 rounds too. Maybe a sprinkle. I think it's plus 180 or plus 190. Let me look over here. So they have Tatsuro Taira at minus. They have Tatsuro Taira minus 500 on Bet Online. I do think it's a good parlay piece. I think this line could be even a little bit higher. I don't think Hernandez is knocking him out or anything. Hernandez knocked out what's his name, Dennis Bonder, but he took him down and slammed him down. But I don't think he's gonna do that to Tatsuro Taira. Tatsuro Taira is gonna have the grappling upside, and I do like a sprinkle on the under 1.5 rounds. I think this maybe could end early, like his Hernandez's fight with Nascimento ended early. He gave up his back and gave up that rear naked choke, didn't really attack hand control. And I think Tatsuro Taira can lock something up. And Tatsuro Taira has so many tools in the toolbox. In the grappling, he has so many submissions. He's got arm triangles, like different types of submissions. Submitted Cesar Vergara, who's a tough customer. Cesar Vergara is a good fighter. Submitted Jesus Aguilar, who's got good grappling. Got a triangle arm bar on him. So he's got so many tools in his toolbox. Has a rear naked choke, also the UFC too. I think I'll call a rear naked choke for Tatsuro Taira. I think it's gonna make it look easy. At first, I was like, there might be some value in the Carlos Hernandez at plus 350, plus 370. But with the more I look into this fight, I think the UFC is matching him up with Hernandez because they want to build up Tatsuro Taira. So I think Tatsuro Taira gets it done, and I think it's a great parlay piece. And I think I like the under 1.5 rounds, maybe a sprinkle on the under 1.5 rounds. Let's go to the next one, guys. Next up, we got Daniel Marcos taking on Carlos Vera. And I watched the fight tape on Carlos Vera. I wasn't all that impressed. He's got good grappling, but he was getting out grappled by this guy, Muniz. This guy was out grappling him, taking him down too. So it's not like this guy's just some really crazy good grappler or anything. He has the loss to Levi Movles 3 years ago. He's 36 years old. So he's taking this like he's getting into the UFC a little bit on the older side. Daniel Marcos has had a hard time getting fights. His fight with what's his name? That Brazilian got cancelled. That was in the Brazilian card, I think. His name is escaping me. What was his name again? Victor Hugo. Yeah, and I was picking him against Victor Hugo too by decision. In this fight, I think he's gonna defend the takedowns. I don't think Carlos Vera has the best entries on his takedowns. I think he might get taken down in the first round, but the longer this fight goes, the more I think Carlos Vera is going to fade. He's taking this in short notice. And I think Daniel Marcos, I'm not that high on Daniel Marcos, so I'll be honest with you guys. But this is a fight that he should definitely win. I mean, I don't see him losing this fight at all. He's undefeated, 15-0. But I thought he lost to Davy Grant. I picked against him there. I thought Davy Grant did enough, but Davy Grant, he had a cut open on his face. So I think the judges gave that fight to Daniel Marcos because he does land some good damaging shots. And I think he's going to do that to Carlos Vera. So I'm going to call it Daniel Marcos by knockout. I think he can find a knockout in the second or third round. I'm going to look at the round props for Daniel Marcos. Maybe a third rounder decision prop. I always like playing those because I think he can break Carlos Vera, because Carlos Vera is probably going to go for some takedowns. And when he keeps attempting those desperate takedowns, he's probably not going to get him. But he can strike too. He's got okay striking. But I don't think he's got good enough striking to beat Daniel Marcos right now. And he's a little bit on the older side, 36 years old for bantamweight. And Marcos is going to be bigger than him. So I like Marcos here, Marcos decision. Let's look at the lines. They have Marcos at minus 300. I think they opened up Daniel Marcos at minus. Wow, a lot of line movement came in on Daniel Marcos. It's minus 475 now. I mean, he opened up at minus 300 on BetOnline. I was looking at it like yesterday, and I was like, should I parlay him? I was looking to parlay him, but I didn't end up doing it. I thought some dog money might come in on Carlos Vera because people aren't that high on Daniel Marcos, but people are. I mean, look at the line movement. Just in 24 hours, there's already been so much money coming in on Daniel Marcos. He's sitting at minus 475. I don't really like that line. I think he definitely should win this fight, but maybe look at the props. The round props are now, yeah, but I'm going to look at the under 2.5 rounds. I think that's going to be a good play if it's closely lined. But Marcos would definitely win this fight, and I think he's going to get it done by knockout. Let's go to the next one, guys. Next up, we got Stephanie Egger taking on Luana Santos. Luana Santos just made her debut against Juliana Miller, who's absolutely horrible. I think I did pick Luana Santos against her, and a lot of people are picking Juliana Miller there, who's absolutely one of the worst fighters in the UFC I've ever seen. Stephanie Egger has good grappling. She's got some of the best submissions out there. Submitted Eileen Perez, who we had in our best bets section, like on that card when she fought like 3 weeks ago, I mean. But she got submitted by Arena Alexeva, and she was getting cracked on the feet by Arena Alexeva. And Luana Santos doesn't have, it's not like she's got technical striking or anything. I don't really agree with these lines. These lines are a little bit too wide. Even in my early picks video, I was like, these lines seem a little bit too wide. I mean, she made her debut. She got that win over Juliana Miller, who we're not really all that high on. So I don't really like this line, but I do think she's going to get this win. I don't see Stephanie Egger finishing her. Stephanie Egger has all of her wins by submission or KO. And I don't see her finishing Luana Santos. But I could see Luana Santos getting a submission over her. She's got submitted by Alexeva in the first round, and a lot of people lost money on her. She was like a big favorite against Alexeva. She dropped the ball there. She was a minus 315 against her, and I had her in a parlay too. And she really disappointed me there. And Alexeva isn't all that good. We've seen Alexeva doesn't have the best cardio. It's kind of dangerous in the first round. But I like Luana Santos here. I think she gets the job done. But I don't really advise anyone betting on Luana Santos at these odds. I think the line's a little bit too wide. I would line this fight at maybe Santos at minus 130 and Egger at minus 120 plus 120. I mean, so I do think there's some value in Stephanie Egger here. But if you're gonna play her, you gotta play her by submission. I don't think that's gonna be her best chance. I think the longer this fight goes, I think Luana Santos probably takes over. She's gonna be the better striker. Probably the more crisp striker, and she's much younger than her, over 10 years the age gap, and she's gonna be at a 1 inch reach disadvantage, but I think she's a good up and comer here, and I think she can get this done. So I'm gonna pick Luana Santos here, but not really a fight that I'm running to the window to bet on, or looking to parlay her or anything like that. But she's minus 173. And let's look at the round props. I like the round props under 2.5 rounds. I think we could see this fight finishing in the first 2 rounds. All like the under 2.5 rounds. I think we could see. But if Luana Santos wins, it's probably going to be by decision or maybe a late finish. Stephanie Egger has been submitted twice before. I think, yes, she got submitted by Morena Buenosova, who's a title contender now, so no shame there. But she gave up the knee bar submission early to Alexeva and dropped the ball there. But she does have some good wins in the UFC. She's been in the UFC for quite a long time now, and I don't think she's a bad underdog play on this card. She's probably one of the better underdogs on this card. But I gotta pick Luana Santos here. I think Luana Santos is a real deal. I think she's gonna win this fight. I'll say maybe KO or decision, but she's got some submissions of her own too. So I wouldn't be shocked if she catches Stephanie Egger in a submission. We've seen Stephanie Egger can get caught in a submission. That loss to Alex Diva isn't really aging all that well for her. Alex Diva only had like 5 fights at the time and didn't fight anyone good. She came in and just absolutely steamrolled her. She was beating her up on the feet too before the submission. Then and then as soon as the fight hit the ground, I mean, Stephanie Egger just got caught in that knee bar submission. I gotta pick Luana Santos here, but I'm not like super high on Luana Santos or anything like that. But she's only lost to Gina Bishop, so no shame there. Gina Bishop is an undefeated prospect, a good grappler, and that was a split decision. So that's her only loss. And I think she's going to get it done. She's only 23 years old, so you got to think she's going to make a lot of improvements. Stephanie Egger is not going to make that many improvements at 35 years old. She's getting up there in age, but she does have the experience advantage over Luana Santos. But I think on the feet, I think it's going to be all Luana Santos. Over Hernandez, I'm not really sure, but I think I do like the under 2.5 rounds because I like the way she fights. Most of her fights have ended inside the distance. She's only gone the distance once in the UFC, and and even in that she lost. I mean, she's only won by decision once. In the UFC, she's never won a fight by decision. So unless she catches Luana Santos in a submission, which maybe could happen. I mean, it's women's MMA. Nothing is a guarantee in women's MMA. So maybe that could happen, but I just don't see it. I think Luana Santos gets it done, and I could see Luana Santos by KO or decision. So the round props, I like the under 2.5. I think under 2.5 is not bad, but it's a women's MMA fight, so maybe the over 2.5 is a play here. I'm gonna see how they look on the scales. I'm gonna see the face-offs, and I'm gonna see maybe I'll have the round props in my best bets video maybe. But let's look at the next fight now. The pick is Luana Santos. I got her by KO TKO. Let's go to the next one, guys. Next up we got Steve Garcia taking on Melquizael Costa. And we were supposed to see this fight on the last card at UFC Austin. And Mean Machine Garcia, I mean, he's a powerful striker. He's got that dog in him. He's gonna bring the fight. I mean, he lost that fight to Luis Pena, but not really a good look there. And then got knocked out by Machete. But Machete is a powerful striker. He is a dangerous guy, man. I'll give him credit there. He's got knockout power. Knocked out Chase Hooper, knocked out Shailen and Nurdenbecki, and he was underdog there. I think he's underdog in these 2 fights, so he's probably going to be one of the better underdogs plays on this card. But I think the grappling upside, the durability of Melquizael Costa, I mean, I think he cracked Diego Moises on the feet too before he gave up that takedown and got submitted. But Diego Moises is been in the UFC for a long time, so no shame losing to Moises. But he's got some good wins, got some knockout power of his own, and I think he's gonna have the better fight IQ. He's a younger guy, still not even in his prime yet. He's gonna have he's training at a shooting box, training out of a good team, and Steve Garcia is training out of a good team too. The lines, I don't really agree with the lines. I already broke this fight down last week, so I'm not really going to spend too much time. But let's look at the lines. They opened Steve Garcia at plus 230, and they opened Melquizael Costa at minus 250, and some money coming in on Melquizael Costa. I think they opened him on DraftKings in the first fight before they rebooked it. I think it was an even money fight, and a lot of money came in on Costa. But now the bookies opened him up at minus 250. And I don't know, man. I'm not really running to the window to bet on Melquizael Costa at minus 270 because Steve Garcia is a dangerous dude, man. I think he's probably going to be one of the better underdogs. I'm probably going to look at Steve Garcia around 1 KO maybe. I mean, that's going to be his best chance in my opinion. But I think the longer this fight goes, I think it probably favors Costa. He's got the better durability. He's got the grappling upside. And I think Costa wins, but I'm not really looking to run to the window to bet on a Costa at minus 270. And the round props, they don't have the round props out yet, so I'll look at the round props in my best bets video maybe. But the pick is Melquizael Costa by KO, but not a confident pick. I'll be honest about that right now. Let's go to the next one, guys. Next up, we got Hung Sung Park taking on Shannon Ross. And Shannon Ross, even though things haven't really worked out for him, I picked against him, bet against him big time. I bet a lot of money on Jesus Aguilar, and I picked Aguilar by submission. I wasn't expecting a first round knockout from Aguilar. I mean, he absolutely buried him. I mean, he absolutely steamrolled Shannon Ross. He's coming off three back-to-back knockout losses, and this is probably going to be his last fight in the UFC. He gave up the rear naked choke to Steve Gutierrez, who's a top contender, no same there. But his durability just not there, man. 34 years old, not really the oldest guy, but for this is the flyweight. Yeah, for flyweight, it is a little bit on the older side. Hyun Sung Park is gonna be the bigger guy here. He's got the grappling upside. He's got the better striking too. He's got the better durability, and I think he's a good parlay piece. And I'm gonna look at Hyun Sung Park and set the distance. But we're probably not gonna get plus money there because Shannon Ross on 35 knockout losing streak. I mean. So I don't think we're going to get plus money on Hyun Sung Park by inside the distance. Maybe Hyun Sung Park by KO. I'm going to look at that. But I do have Hyun Sung Park in a couple of parlays, and I like him a lot. I think he's going to get it done. I think I have him parlay with Shavkat Rakhmonov too, and also some other fighters on this card. I like Hyun Sung Park a lot. I think he's one of the better plays on this card. But he's gotten cracked himself too. He's got knocked down himself, but he's got a much better durability. He gets back up and he's shown good toughness, and he's got that rear naked choke in his debut over Guk Choi. I think he can submit him or knock him out. I'm gonna say first round knockout for Hyun Sung Park. And let's look at the lines. I mean, Hyun Sung Park opened up at minus 345 on DraftKings. I think I took him at minus 400. I parlayed him with a couple of fighters. So where is he? Shannon Ross is plus 375, and the comeback on Hyun Sung Park is minus 500. If you can get him at minus 400 on DraftKings, I think that's a good parlay piece. And the overs are opened up at over 1.5 or under 1.5, and I like the under 1.5. I think this fight's gonna end in the first round, and I think Hyun Sung Park is gonna finish him early in the first 3 minutes of the fight. I'll say that much right now. The under 1.5 is minus 170. I do like the under 1.5. I'm probably gonna parlay that with another over or under, but I do like the under 1.5 a lot. I think it's a good play. Under 1.5 is a good play if you guys don't want to play Hyun Sung Park at these minus 500. But I think it's a good parlay piece. Let's go to the next one, guys. Next up, we got Kenan Song taking on Kevin Jousset. And in my early picks video, I picked Kenan Song because I think he's been in the UFC for a longer time, fought a much better level of competition. He did get knocked out by Max Griffin in the first round, which isn't a good look. So that does worry me, but he cracked Ian Gary in the first round, dropped him bad. He almost finished him. So, I mean, imagine he finished him. He would be a big favorite here over Kevin Jousset if he knocked out Ian Gary, which he almost did. So you got to give him some credit there. He was hanging on the feet with Ian Gary. Ian Gary's a top contender. We've seen that much. I think Ian Gary beats Luke next week. And I am picking Ian Gary next week too. And I'm still going to pick Kenan Song here, but I want to see the face-offs. I want to see the weigh-ins. Kevin Jousset training out of City Kickboxing, a good gym, training with some high-level fighters over there. He's on a 4 or 5 win streak right now. And I think the UFC is looking to build him up here. But this is not going to be an easy matchup for him. This is going to be a tough fight. I think Kevin Jousset did fight Jack Della Maddalena, right? He got it was a TKO, Dr. Stoppers, in the second round against Jack Della Maddalena. The thing about I picked against him, I think, in his debut too. I picked underdog Kiefer Crosby by first round knockout, but Kiefer Crosby has horrible takedown defense and horrible cardio. What's Kenan Song's takedown defense? I think it's around 60%, right? Kenan Song's takedown defense is around 52%. Not really the best takedown defense out there. Kevin just said if he gets a takedown, he probably gets a submission. But if this fight stays on the feet, I think Kenan Song has a good chance of getting the upset. I'm still gonna pick Kenan Song here as an underdog. I gotta pick some underdogs on this card for now, but I want to see the weigh-ins. I might pick flip after I see the weigh-ins, because I do think the grappling upside could be the difference maker here. Kevin just said has good submissions and he's on a roll right now. He's got the momentum right now. But Kenan Song, he did get outstruck by Bedoya, but he was landing the bigger shots. He was getting the better of the exchanges. And Kevin just said does keep his chin up high, so I could definitely see him getting cracked. But he has really shown some improvements in his in the last couple of fights. He's got that knockout on the regional, then he got that ticket to the UFC, and got that big win over Kiefer Crosby, who's not really the best fighter out there. Kiefer Crosby is probably a can. I think he's lost on Bellator too. I can't believe I picked Kiefer Crosby there, but I'm not a confident in Kenan Song, but I think he can get upset here, and I gotta pick some underdogs on this card, and Kenan Song is the underdog that I'm picking here, and I think he can get it done by decision or knockout too. I mean, Kevin just said hasn't been knocked out, flashly knocked out. I think his only knockout loss was to Jack Della Maddalena, and that was by a doctor stoppage cut. But he has good toughness, good durability, but he's been dropped a couple of times. And the Kenan Song has good power, good durability. Not the best durability. He got knocked out by Max Griffin and Ian Gary, but he's got some knockout power of his own. And he's been in the UFC for a much longer time now. He's got a 5-3 record in the UFC. He lost a fight to Alex Morono, who's a good fighter. Got knocked out by Brad Riddle, which isn't a good look. Brad Riddle fights at 155. So I'm not confident. This is one of the least confident picks on this card for me. But for now, I'm still gonna stick with my Kenan Song pick for now. But I might pick flip after the weigh-ins, because Kevin just said is 6'2" with a 75 injury. So maybe that size could play a factor, and he's gonna have the grappling upside. So I get why everyone's picking Kevin just said here. But for now, until I see the weigh-ins and the face-offs, I'm probably gonna stay with the Kenan Song. And let's look at the lines. The lines have Kenan Song at plus 135, and the comeback on Kevin just said minus 155. I think some money came in on Kenan Song. He opened up at plus 145, plus 150, and now some money came in on him on a bet online. And I think this fight should be a lot closer. I would have Kevin just said at minus 130, minus 135, and I would have Kenan Song at like plus 115, plus 120. I think this is a closer fight than people think. So I might pick a Kenan Song for now, but I want to see the weigh-ins, and I might pick flip later. Let's go to the next one, guys. Oh, we forgot to talk about the overs and unders. What did the overs and unders open up at? So the overs and unders, they opened the line at over 1.5. I do like the over 1.5 a lot. I think Kenan Song, and even if he gets finished later, or even if Kevin just said gets finished, it's probably going to be the over 7-minute mark. And I do like the over 1.5 round. I'm probably going to put that in a long shot parlay. I think this fight goes deeper. I mean, Kiefer Crosby got finished in the first round, but Kiefer Crosby is an absolute can. And Kenan Song has been in the UFC. He's been fighting top-level fighters. And even against Ian Gary, he got finished later in the third round. And he's tough as hell. He's going to stay in the fight. Even if he's getting cracked, he's going to try to stay in the fight. And I think this fight goes long. I think I'm going to say Kenan Song like by decision. But I think we could see even if there's a finish, it could come in later in the second and third round. And I do like the over 1.5 round, minus 240 a lot. Let's go to the next one, guys. Next up, we got André Muniz taking on Jin Young Park. Hit the like down below, guys, if you guys appreciate the content, if you guys enjoyed the breakdowns. We had a tough UFC card, but then we made it back on the Fury UFC. We absolutely killed it. I mean, like whatever I lost on the UFC card, I made it back yesterday on the Fury UFC. So over the weekend, I'm up like 0.7 units, so like $70 over the weekend. I'll take it. I mean, I made my money back on the Fury UFC yesterday. We called some big time underdogs there, so I'm happy about that. If you guys watched the live stream, you would have made a lot of money following my bets there. I only had like one loss on the card, I think, which was Aguilar on Fury UFC. So we called like a plus 275 underdog in the co-main event. We called Nate Richardson. We also called what's that guy's name? His name is escaping my, but he got signed to the UFC, the heavyweight fighter. I'll pull him up later, but he got signed to the UFC. He's joining the UFC heavyweight roster right now. But let's get back to the picks, guys. So we have Jin Young Park taking on André Muniz. Both these guys have they're both high level grapplers. André Muniz has a high level grappling. He's one of the best BJJ practitioners out there, but things haven't really been looking good for him. No shame losing to Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen is a top contender, probably going to be fighting for the belt real soon. But losing to Paul Craig, getting ground and pounded. He got extremely tired in the second and third round. I think it was the second round, but that wasn't a good look for him there. I think I did pick André Muniz there, and I bet him there, and he really let me down big time. I mean, he let me down big time. and got grounded and pounded by Paul Craig, and that's not a good look, getting grounded and pounded in the second round. He just had nothing for him. I mean, and Jin Young Park is going to be the one bit better cardio, better durability, and a better striker. He's going to be the much better striker on the feet. He's going to have the power. He's cracking on Albert Duraev. He was absolutely beating the shit out of Albert Duraev on the feet, and then he submitted him on the ground. Submitted to Denis Lulin, who's in a good fighter at UFC, but it is what it is. So his best win, I think, was over Eric Anders and over Albert Duraev. And then he got standing TKO'd by Gregory Rodriguez, who's an absolute monster. But he's been in the UFC for a minute, man. The Arden Turtle, he's had 9 fights in the UFC, 7-2 record. He's got a good record in the UFC. Has a win over Marc-Andre Barrio, who's a fucking power bar, who's a really good fighter. And he was underdog there. Lost to Anthony Hernandez. No shame losing to Anthony Hernandez. Fluffy Hernandez is a freaking beast. Has a win over Tefan Chukwi. So he's got some good wins. Has a win over John Phillips. So he's got some good wins in the UFC, and I'm picking him here. I've been picking him here, and I think he's gonna just crack him on the feet. And I think as soon as the fight goes to the ground, and I think he's gonna find a rear naked choke or find some other type of submission. But he can knock him out too. If Paul Craig is knocking you out, I could see Jin Young Park knocking him out. I think Jin Young Park has much better striking than Paul Craig. I mean, Paul Craig had got the ground and pound stoppage. I could see Jin Young Park knocking him out on the feet. Jin Young Park has made some rapid improvements. He's on a 3-fight submission streak right now. Submitted Duraev, submitted Tululin, submitted Joseph Holmes, and all of those submissions are rear naked chokes. So he's really good at what he does, and I'm picking him here. He's one of my most confident picks on the card. Andre Muniz is a slick jiu-jitsu practitioner, but his cardio just not there, durability just not there, and he quits as soon as things don't go his way. When he can't find early submission, he quits, finds a way out, found a way out against Paul Craig, found a way out against Brendan Allen. He was favored to win both of these fights too. A lot of people were really high on him after his 3-5 win streak in the UFC, and he's only been looking worse and worse every time. And I think this is a bad matchup for him. So I gotta go Jin Young Park, and I think he's gonna knock him out or submit him early. Let's look at the lines. They have where's he? Jin Young Park is -180. I mean, a lot of dog money coming in on Andre Muniz, and I agree with the money coming in on Andre Muniz. He's got good jiu-jitsu, so I mean, early he's gonna be dangerous. But I think when this fight goes over past the first round, I think it's gonna be all Jin Young Park. Jin Young Park has really shown good toughness now, good durability, and the rounds opened up, the overs and unders opened up at 1.5, and I do like the over 1.5. I think the over 1.5 is a good play. I think if we see a finish, it's probably gonna be later in the second round, the third round. So I do like the over 1.5 rounds. I wouldn't really put that in a parlay. I'm not that confident, but I do think we go past the over 1.5 round mark. Because Andre Muniz is tough. He only quits when he gets tired, and he's only been finished later in the second round and third round. So he got finished by Brendan Allen in the third round. But I don't think Jin Young Park is going to knock him out in the first round. I could be wrong, but I do like the over 1.5 rounds. I'm probably going to play that straight up. I think it was -125 like yesterday, and some money came in on over 1.5. I was keeping an eye on that. I was going to put that in one of my best bets. But I don't know, -140, I don't really like that line, because Andre Muniz has been looking worse and worse every time. But I do like Jin Young Park. I think the money line is the A side here, and I do like Jin Young Park inside the distance, and I like Jin Young Park by KO, TKO, or submission. And I like the under 1.5. I mean, I like the over 1.5 rounds. I think I don't like it enough that I'm gonna throw like max bet it or anything like that. But I do think we go over 1.5 round mark. The pick is a Jin Young Park by inside the distance. I'm gonna say second round TKO, maybe TKO or submission. I'm gonna say second round submission for Jin Young Park. Let's go to the next one, guys. Next up, we got Nasrat Haqparast taking on Jamie Mullarkey, and this is a good matchup between these two guys at lightweight. Nasrat Haqparast has been looking pretty good. I mean, he got a good win over Landon Quinones, but Landon Quinones looked really good in that fight. Showed a lot of improvements, and but Nasrat Haqparast had good volume, outstruck him, and landed the bigger shots. Excuse me, but he's got that win over John McDessie. Got the unanimous decision over him. Lost to Bobby Green, lost to Dan Hooker. No shame losing to these two guys. They're good fighters. Got a win over Rafa Garcia. Beat Rafa Garcia back when he was undefeated. So he's got some good momentum now. Finally turning it up. Things weren't looking good for him with that 2-fight losing streak, but things have really been looking good for him lately. He's gonna be taking on Jamie Mullarkey. Jamie Mullarkey is good all around. He's meat and potatoes guy. He's got good grappling, good striking, but the durability just not there. He's almost about to get finished by John Makdessi too. If you guys go watch that fight back, if that fight was anywhere other than Australia or Sydney, I think that fight could have been that fight would have went to John Makdessi. I mean, it sucks that I think John Makdessi got cut after that loss. I think John Makdessi won the fight, even though I picked Jamie Mullarkey there and I bet on him there. I was extremely sweating that bad, man. I was sweating it bad, and I thought John Makdessi won the fight. I thought John Makdessi got kind of robbed there. He was landing the bigger shots. He had the lone knockdown too over Mullarkey, and Mullarkey chin just not there. Got knocked out by Naimov. He was a minus 500 favorite over Naimov. Got knocked out by Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner is a good fighter. No shame there, but durability just not there, and I don't think he's gonna get the takedowns against Michael Johnson. I mean, when he couldn't get the takedowns, that fight was extremely close. I think he got some takedowns, but just on the feet, Michael Johnson was kind of outstriking him, I think. I could be wrong. Let me check here on the stats. Where's Nasrat? I think he was kind of getting outstruck by Jamie Mullarkey against Makdessi. Yeah, Makdessi almost outstruck him. I mean, 83 to 88 on the significant strikes. And Makdessi didn't give him that knockdown, but I think he did knock him down. Maybe it could be off balance. Maybe I could be wrong. But I thought John Makdessi knocked him down. But against Naimov, he was winning the fight until he got caught and got knocked out cold. Against Michael Johnson, he did outstrike Michael Johnson, but Michael Johnson had that knockdown. So he's been getting knocked down left and right. He got knocked down against Jalen Turner and got finished. He got knocked down against Michael Johnson, knocked him down. I mean, getting knocked down by Michael Johnson at this point, not really a good look. And then he got knocked down by Naimov and got knocked out. And I thought he got knocked down by John Makdessi too. I don't know why they didn't give Makdessi that knockdown. But I thought he got knocked down there. But his chin just not there. And if he doesn't get the takedowns in this fight, I think Nasrat Haqparast could even finish him. But Nasrat Haqparast hasn't really finished anyone in the last couple of fights. But this is a fight that he can maybe find a KO, TKO too. I could be wrong, but I think he could find a TKO because Mullarkey, when he's losing, he's getting knocked out, and Haqparast is not really a finisher, so I'm not really confident in it. But I'm gonna pick Haqparast here. I think he's got the better durability. He's got good takedown defense. Let me see his takedown defense. Nasrat Haqparast takedown defense is 78%, really good takedown defense, and he's got his own takedown. You can go for his own takedowns if he wants. But he's probably going to keep it on the feet, and that's what I advise him to do. Just keep this fight on the feet and just mess him up on the feet, land the bigger shots. And I do think Nasrat Haqparast wins this fight, and I think he wins by maybe decision. Let's look at the line. So on Bet Online, they have Nasrat Haqparast at minus 214. Some books you can get him at minus 180. If you can get him at minus 180, minus 185, I think that's a good play. I think the lines opened him up at minus 175 on some books, minus 170. I do like if you can get Nasrat Haqparast up minus 170, I think is a good play. And I'm not super confident to the point where I'm gonna look to parlay him or anything like that. But I do think Nasrat Haqparast gets it done, and I think he gets it done by decision more likely. But Mullarkey is a tough cat, man. Even if he gets knocked down a couple of times, he's probably gonna get back up. And unless Nasrat Haqparast has really good ground and pound, which he hasn't really shown yet, and the UFC has gone to decision more often. So the overs, they opened the overs at overs and unders at 2.5, and the over 2.5 is pretty wide at minus 240. Maybe a sprinkle on the under 2.5. I mean, Mullarkey is getting finished in his losses, and I could see his chin getting cracked here. He's been knocked out like 4 times at this point. He's been knocked out 4 times, 2 times in the UFC. So half of his losses are by knockout. So I wouldn't really trust his chin to play that over 2.5 round mark. Maybe a sprinkle on the 2.5. I just have a feeling that we could see a knockout from Haqparast here, because Mullarkey's chin seems to be fading in every fight. He's been getting dropped left and right. He's been getting dropped so many times. But he's a tough cat, man. So I can't hate anyone playing the over 2.5 round. But minus 240, I wouldn't really trust that over 2.5 at minus 240. I might put it like $25 on the under 2.5 at my plus 190. I think a sprinkle on the plus money on that plus 190 for under 2.5 is not a bad look, to be honest. So I'm gonna call the under 2.5, but not a confident pick or anything like that. Just a sprinkle maybe. So my pick is Haqparast. I'm picking Nasrat Haqparast by KO, by knockout, but it could be a decision too. Most people are picking him by decision, but I feel like we might see a knockout for Haqparast here, because I just don't trust Mullarkey's durability anymore. So my pick is Haqparast by knockout, but I could definitely see this going to decision. Next up, we got Sumudaerji taking on Allan Nascimento. And I've been picking Allan Nascimento since 2 weeks. I think I made the early picks video 2 weeks ago, and I've been picking Allan Nascimento. They opened this line at minus 250, I think, or minus. What did they open up at? They opened him up at, I think, like some books opened him up at plus minus 345, minus 350, and I kind of agree with the line, man. Sumudaerji, he's a good striker, but his durability just not there. He's been getting dropped and getting clubbed and subbed. He went to war with Matt Snow. You shouldn't be going to war with Matt Snow at this point. Matt Snow just not really that good of a fighter right now. He's been getting knocked out left and right too. Sumudaerji's all 5 losses that come by finish. He's been getting submitted 5. He's got submitted 5 times. So this matchmaking, like the way they're matching him up with Nascimento, who's a top level grappler. He submitted Carlos Hernandez in the first round. Really good win for him there. Got that win over Jake Hadley. Jake Hadley is a good fighter at 125. Went to split decision with Ulanbekov, who's a good fighter. Ulanbekov is going to be fighting on the 296 card. Has a win over on the regionals. Lost to Rayanne Paiva, who's fighting on the UAE Warriors right now. So his only two losses in his last 5 fights. Probably could have gone his way, and he probably would be on a 5-5 win streak right now. But he's on a 2-5 win streak. And Sumudaerji on the feet, he's going to be much better. But I do think he's going to give up the takedowns, and I do think Nascimento is going to get a submission. I'm calling a first round submission for Allan Nascimento. And let's look at the line. So they have Sumudaerji at plus 275, and the comeback on Nascimento minus 325. If you can find him at anything under minus 300, I think it's a good parlay piece. And I do like a sprinkle on the under 1.5 rounds. I think we could see an early finish from Nascimento. Nascimento has so many early first round finishes, and he's really good at getting the back and getting the rear naked choke. So I'm gonna call the under 1.5 round mark. I think we're gonna see an early finish from Nascimento. I think he's gonna get the back, and there's a big skill gap on the ground when this fight hits the ground. And if this fight hits the ground in the first round, I think Nascimento is gonna get a quick finish over Sumudaerji. And so on the feet, I think Sumudaerji has the advantage. But I do see Nascimento getting the grappling going early, and I think he's gonna get the submission. So I like the under 1.5 at plus 150. I think I put up $25 on it, just a light sprinkle. I think that's a good play, and I do think Nascimento is a good parlay piece, to be honest. Anything under minus 300 is a good parlay piece. Anything over 300, minus 300 is kind of a stretch, a little bit too much on the white side in my opinion. But some books are giving him at minus 290. I think I parlayed him at minus 290. I had him parlayed with Costa back when Costa was fighting last week. But now that Costa fight, they rebooked it. Now I'm not really gonna. Now that parlay is only one leg, and I think I got him at minus 290 early. He was even at minus 230 even early in the week. At one point, I think Nascimento was all the way down at minus 225, minus 205 even at one point. A lot of dog money came in on Sumudaerji. But I do see Nascimento getting the job done, and I think he's going to get a first round submission for Nascimento. Let's go to the next one, guys. Next up, we got the co-main event of the evening, guys. Hit the like down below. Subscribe to the channel, guys. I bring you guys fire content every freaking week, and we're staying consistent. I've been making content every other day now, and we did a live stream yesterday. We absolutely destroyed it killed it with the live stream, and made all the money back that we lost on the UFC card. Let's get back to the picks. So we have Anthony Smith taking this fight on short notice. Khalil Rountree was supposed to be taking on that top surging contender, Azamat Murzakanov, and I bet on Azamat Murzakanov against Khalil Rountree. I got Azamat Murzakanov at minus 135, but unfortunately Azamat Murzakanov felt illness. I think he fell ill, and that fight was cancelled. Now Anthony Smith stepping into this on short notice, And Anthony Smith has been fighting top contenders in his last couple of fights. He has 2 wins over Ryan Spann, and I picked Ryan Spann there. Ryan Spann has negative fight IQ in my opinion. Last 2, Johnny Walker got absolutely destroyed. Had nothing for Johnny Walker in that fight, and he cost me there. I had the under 2.5 round. I mean, the under 2.5 was like minus 500 too, I remember. I think if I remember correctly, it was like minus 500 for the under 2.5. And Smith somehow survived and went to decision. And he's like, "Oh, you're attacking my family, this and that." I absolutely hate Smith. I'm biased. This is probably gonna be a biased pick, but I'm picking Khalil Rountree to knock him out cold. I want to see Khalil Rountree knock him out cold. I hope he just brutally knocks him out, like what's his name? Armin knocked out Beneil Dariush in the first round. That was beautiful. I'm probably gonna get that poster and hang it up on the studio here. I cannot wait to get that poster, and that's gonna be beautiful. I hope Khalil Rountree knocks him out brutally, and I wanna put that poster. I wanna hang it up here forever, and I hope he does it, man. But I'm not confident in Khalil Rountree. I'm not confident. I'm not like looking to parlay him or anything like that. But I'm probably gonna play Khalil Rountree by knockout. But Anthony Smith, man, he's been in the game for a long time. He's only 35 years old. There's only a 2-year age gap. But I think Khalil Rountree is probably going to be the more powerful, more explosive guy. But Anthony Smith has a grappling advantage in this fight. And if this fight hits the ground, I think Anthony Smith can lock something up. We've seen Khalil Rountree get submitted a couple of times. He's been submitted once. Who submitted him? I think Kutalaba ground and pounded him. Elbows from mount. And Johnny Walker knocked him out in the first round with elbows. Tyson Pedro got that rear naked choke in the first round. So I can't blame anyone picking Anthony Smith here. These odds should be a lot closer. I think the odds have where's Anthony Smith? They have Anthony Smith at plus 205, and the comeback on Khalil Rountree minus 240. I think they opened Bet Online. They opened Anthony Smith as a favorite too. So a lot of early money came in on that on Khalil Rountree. I mean, and a lot of money came in on Khalil Rountree, and I agree with them. I think Khalil Rountree should win. He's the one with the full training camp for this fight. He's going to be the more powerful, more explosive guy. And his takedown defense has looked pretty good. No one's really tried to take him down. So if Smith tries to take him down, maybe he can get a takedown and lock something up. But I got to go Khalil Rountree, man. He's going to be very more explosive. He's got the training camp. He's been preparing for this fight. I mean, not preparing for this fight, but he's preparing for Asman Murzakanov, who is much more explosive than Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith has had so many fights. There's been so many wars. He took so much damage against Ryan Spann too. I mean, he was almost on the verge of being finished. If you guys remember last time, he was almost finished by Ryan Spann. I mean, Ryan Spann almost knocked him out cold too. But Smith is a tough cat, and he was able to survive and win the second and third round. But that was a controversial decision too. And then he got absolutely steamrolled by Johnny Walker. Got outstruck in all 3 rounds. And he can defend a leg kick. So I think Khalil Rountree is going to get those leg kicks going. And as long as Khalil Rountree defends the takedown, I think it's going to be all Khalil Rountree. Let's look at the stats. I want to see what Khalil Rountree's takedown defense is. His takedown defense is 56%. Not really the best takedown defense. Against Praknio, I mean, he almost had Praknio finished, and then he kind of gassed out in that fight. But since then, he's really turned it up. His cardio has been looking much better. He's in his prime right now. And he hasn't had the wear of terror that Smith has had. So I got to go Khalil Rountree here by knockout. But I think it's going to come later. I don't think he's going to knock him out in the first round or anything like that. So let's look at the line. The overs, they opened the totals at over 1.5. And over 1.5 is plus money, plus 123. Under 1.5 is minus 153. I'll say this much. I do like the over 1.5 at plus 123. Even if I think Khalil Rountree, if he knocks him out, is probably going to be later in the second or third round. And I think Smith is a tough cat, man. Unless he gets caught and gets knocked out cold in the first round, it is what it is. But I think this fight goes over 1.5 rounds. Maybe I just have a wrong read or something, but I think it goes over 1.5 rounds. And I think I was about to put some like sprinkle on it. I was about to put like $25 on it, but I'm probably gonna put a half a unit on it. I think we can trust in Anthony Smith's durability. He's a tough cat, man. Remember, he almost got his teeth knocked out by who was it? Was it by Glover? And he put the teeth back, and he's like, I'm still in the fight, man. Anthony Smith is a tough cat, man. He's not gonna quit on himself. Even if he's getting his ass kicked, he's probably gonna try to stay in the fight and go to decision. I mean, if Johnny Walker isn't knocking you out, I don't think Khalil Rountree is gonna knock him out in the first round. But Khalil Rountree has really good kickboxing skills, and I think he's gonna get those leg kicks going early. I think he's gonna absolutely hammer Smith's legs and knock him out in the maybe third round. I'll call a third round TKO stoppage. But I do like the over 1.5 at plus money. Let's go to the next one, guys. Next up, so the pick is Khalil Rountree by third round TKO. Maybe decision. Maybe I'll just pick decision because André Smith is a tough cat. He's only been knocked out by Magomed Ankalaev, and I think in that fight, Magomed Ankalaev was absolutely destroying his legs. So if Khalil Rountree destroys his legs, I think he can get the knockout in the third round. So maybe third round or knockout for Khalil Rountree, but I'm gonna call to Khalil Rountree by third round TKO. Let's go to the next one, guys. Next up, we got the main event of the evening, guys. Hit the like down below if you guys appreciate the content, and subscribe to the channel, guys. We just hit 550 subscribers. I want to thank each one of you guys that support the channel. It means a lot to me, man, that you guys show up, watch these videos. Let's talk about the main event now. So we have Song Yadong taking on Chris Gutierrez, and I remember people were like fading Song Yadong against Ricky Simon. I couldn't believe that the Hoffa Topology picked against him there, and he was a plus money there against Ricky Simon. I picked him there by knockout. I think I picked him third round TKO, and he got it done in the fifth round. He almost knocked him out in the fourth round, and Ricky Simon had the grappling. I mean, in this fight, Chris Gutierrez, all he has is he's good kickboxer from the outside, but I do see Song Yadong closing the distance and knocking his head out clean against Pedro Muniz. I mean, what happened in that fight was he was doing good early, then he got knocked down by Pedro Muniz. I mean, he had the size advantage over Pedro Muniz too. If you guys remember, he was a big favorite over Pedro Muniz. He was minus 215, and I had him in one of my best bets, and he really let me down there. I mean, really let me down. He got knocked down in the first round, and then really didn't work his way back into the fight. He didn't really want to exchange in the pocket anymore. He doesn't like getting hit. That's one thing I can say. When you go watch that fight back, he didn't even want to engage in the pocket anymore. He was scared to engage in the pocket with Pedro Muniz. And Pedro Muniz doesn't have the power that Song Yadong has, in my opinion. And Song Yadong has been training at a Team Alpha Male. His takedown defense was looking on point against Ricky Simon. That's why I picked him against Ricky Simon as an underdog too. He was my lock of the week too. If you guys go watch my video for that card, he was my lock of the week for that card too. I think I could be wrong, but I think he was my lock of the week at plus money too. I locked him there because I was really confident that he was gonna mess up Ricky Simon, and I picked him by knockout there, and he knocked him out. So I mean, what more can you ask for? I picked Corey Sandhagen against him, and Corey Sandhagen, that was a cut, but that was a competitive fight. I think that was like 2-2 heading into the fifth. But Corey Sandhagen was landing those elbows. Chris Gutierrez doesn't really land elbows or anything like that. He's not really a pocket fighter. Song Yadong is gonna be much better in the pocket. I think he's gonna be the one landing the bigger shots, landing the harder shots. He's gonna have the grappling upside in this fight, and I like Song Yadong a lot. I like him as a parlay piece a lot. I can't hate anyone taking the plus one in Chris Gutierrez. He's done really good in the UFC, but if he can't finish Alencar Haley, I just don't see him winning. I mean, Alencar Haley made a really bad fight IQ mistake. He didn't get the wrestling going early. If he got the wrestling going early, he could have just won the fight. He could have got the upset over Chris Gutierrez. I did pick Chris Gutierrez by decision there, and he got it done by decision. But he did get taken down in the third round. But I don't know what Alencar Haley was doing. He just let him kick his legs off at distance. Didn't really do anything. Didn't really close the distance. But I don't see Song Yadong doing that. Song Yadong has been fighting top level guys. His Marlon Moraes knocked out Marlon Moraes, knocked out Julio Arce. He's been in the UFC for a minute, man. He got into UFC at such a young age. He's been fighting good fighters outside the UFC too. He's been tested. He knocked out what's his name, Alessandro Perez in the first round. Beat Marlon Vera. I mean, Marlon Vera is fighting for the belt now, so that's a really good win for him there. He's been looking really good, man. Training out of Team Alpha Male, he's really clicking over there. 9-2 in the UFC, and he's only been knocked out once, and that was a doctor cut stoppage, and he's only lost by decision once. And he's got 8 wins and 4 losses by decision. I see Song Yadong knocking him out, man, at some point. I think Song Yadong is gonna catch him at some point, and Chris Gutierrez is not gonna land the bigger shots. I mean, if you're scared to engage with Pedro Muniz, I can only imagine once Song Yadong cracks him, I think he's gonna be scared to engage in the pocket, and I see Song Yadong knocking him out. I'm picking Song Yadong by knockout, and I think he's a great parlay piece. I'll be honest with you guys right now. They have Song Yadong at minus 350. Some dog money coming in. Chris Gutierrez, can't hate anyone taking Chris Gutierrez here. He's big plus money, but I think Song Yadong is gonna get this done. And they opened the totals. They opened at 3.5. The over 3.5 is minus 185, and the under 3.5 is plus 155. I think we might go over 3.5. I think Song Yadong probably gonna get the knockout in the 4th or 5th round. I think he's gonna knock him down a couple of times, and then probably like Chris Gutierrez doesn't have a good chin. I mean, he doesn't. Like, that's just the fact. And Song Yadong is just a much better boxer. That's what it comes down to. He's a much better boxer. That's why he's a big favorite, because he's a much better boxer. He's got the grappling upside. He can go for takedowns anytime he wants. And he's got nasty ground and pound. I mean, he landed some nasty ground and pound on Ricky Simon. And Ricky Simon is a tough customer. I think Ricky Simon would absolutely take Chris Gutierrez down and beat him up on the ground. I think Ricky Simon, I would pick Ricky Simon over Chris Gutierrez any day of the week. I'll be honest with you guys right now. And I picked against Ricky Simon. I picked Song Yadong against Ricky Simon. So that tells you how high I am on Song Yadong. And I think he was my underdog lock of the week too. So that's how high I am on Song Yadong. And he's one of my most confident picks on the card. And I think he's a great parlay piece. So the parlays that I like for this card is Song Yadong and Tatsuro Taira. And maybe you can parlay that with the under 1.5 in this fight. In the Shannon Ross, you can throw this in a parlay under 1.5. Throw Song Yadong in there, and throw Tatsuro Taira in there, and you're probably gonna get plus money there, right? Yeah, you're gonna get you can parlay this on the Bet Online account, but you can definitely do that on other books. The DraftKings lets you parlay like round props with the money line props, and you're gonna get plus 145. I like that parlay a lot, and I think that parlay hits, guys. I really do. I have a good feeling for that parlay. Or if you guys want to get even more plus money, maybe throw Nascimento in there. I think Nascimento gets it done. And plus 220. I like that parlay a lot. I think that parlay hits, guys. I could be wrong, but I think that parlay hits, man. Plus 220 for that parlay. Like, I like that parlay a lot. That's going to be their official parlay right now. But it's a little bit risky, but it's giving us plus 220 for this parlay. Nascimento, Song Yadong, under 1.5 in the Shannon Ross versus Hyun Park. And then also, so I like that parlay a lot, man. Plus 220. But if you guys want to go a little bit less risky, maybe just parlay Song Yadong and Tatsuro Taira. Where's Tatsuro Taira? Tatsuro Taira. Maybe just parlay that. Minus 185. A little bit of a chalky parlay, but I think it hits. I mean, maybe parlay this with the under. I like this parlay a lot. Plus 145. This is the parlay that I like. I mean, you put 100 down, you put 100 down, you're gonna make 145 back. I mean, you're gonna get more than double your plus money. This is gonna be a parlay of the week. This is the parlay of the week that I really like. But I also like Nascimento in there, man. Nascimento is gonna get the job done. I think it's gonna make it look easy, and I like that plus 220. I mean, I like that parlay a lot, man. Nascimento. I think Nascimento gets a submission early. And I like that parlay a lot, man. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you guys enjoyed the breakdowns. And let's go over all the picks again. So we have Song Yadong by knockout. 4th round knockout for Song Yadong. Clear Rountree by 3rd round knockout or decision. Allan Nascimento 1st round submission. Nasrat Haqparast by knockout 3rd round or decision. Yong Park by inside the distance knockout or submission. I'm going to say submission 2nd round. Then we have Kenan Song as an underdog. I might pick flip if I see the face-offs. But for now, I'm picking Song Yadong. I think it's a good play at plus money. I might look at the point spread on him. I think he can maybe, even if he loses, he probably loses by 29-28. But I think he's going to have success early. Yeah. So I'm still picking Kenan Song for now. My pick is Kenan Song by decision. And then Hyun Park by 1st round finish. Knockout, 1st round knockout for Hyun Park. And then Melquizael Costa by knockout. And then I have... maybe Melquizael Costa by decision. I could definitely see him going to decision. He doesn't really push for the finish. If he gets a finish, I think he could find a finish. I'm gonna go Costa by knockout, and then Luana Santos by knockout or submission. Daniel Marcos by knockout. Tatsuro Taira by submission early, and Rayanne Santos by decision. So those are the picks, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you guys if you guys don't agree with my picks, it is what it is. That's everyone. We all have our own opinions on fights. I mean, that's why we love this game, because anything can happen. We got 12 fights, some really good fights on this card. Let me know what you guys thinking down in the comments below. I really appreciate your support. It really means a lot to me, guys. I appreciate it. And we're gonna try to hit 1,000 subscribers. I've been staying consistent with the content. I'm gonna I'm gonna bring the fire for next week. So keep an eye on the best bets video. We went negative on best bets, but we hit two. We went 2-2, but we lost with the underdog cage Kevin Gastelum. But then we hit the we hit the prop of the week at plus 100, under 3.5 in the main event, and then we hit the lock of the week at plus money too. Plus money knockout Armin Sarukin by knockout plus 150, and that hit, and under 30.5 round hit. So I can't be too pissed off. It is what it is. But last week wasn't kind to me for picks. But I feel good about this card, man. I feel really good about this card, and I'm bringing the fire for the best bets and the lock of the week. I'm still not sure who I'm gonna go with for the lock of the week. I want to give you guys a lock of the week. Maybe I'll give you guys a prop instead of a lock, because I'm not like, I gotta give you guys something where you guys can double your money, or I'm gonna try to give you guys a plus money prop, and then a lock of the week. That's closely lined maybe. But I like this card. I cannot wait for this card. This is a low key a good fight night card, and I think we got some good bangers on this card. Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. You guys already know the deal. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this card. Good luck on all your bets. And I'll probably do a live stream for this card. Let me know in the comments if you guys think I should do a live stream for this card. If we get 25 likes on this card, on this video, I'll do a live stream for the card. And I promise you guys, if we hit 25 likes on this video, I'll do a live stream for this card. We absolutely killed it yesterday with the Fury FC stream. We made all our money back and then some on the Fury FC card. Called some big time underdogs. Let me talk about the underdog that we called. I think it was in the Fury FC we called some big underdogs. And I think it was, let me see what it was. We called Nate Richardson by knockout. He got the knockout. Most people were picking Yong by decision, and Nate Richardson was only like a minus 135 closely lined favorite, and he got the job done by 4th round TKO. And then this is one of my biggest underdog calls that I called. Cameron Graves by knockout, but he got it done by decision. He was a plus 275 underdog too, guys. Plus 275 underdog that we called on live on stream yesterday. And then we had Moran decision. He got the job done easy. He was a plus minus 163. We opened at minus 163, and he was a good parlay piece. We made money on him. He made it look easy. Got a first round submission. Diggs. This is another underdog. My second underdog call. He was a plus 155 underdog, and he got the job done. He got it done by decision, and it made it look pretty easy. 30-27. A lot of people on the YouTube were picking Tony Toro. People that make Fury FC prediction, they were picking Tony Toro, and Tapology, they were right on this. I mean, they picked Diggs, and I agree with them. I mean, he had the grappling upside, and he looked really good. He absolutely dominated him from start to finish. And then we had this is the one that I think Rebellious. He got signed to the UFC, and he opened up at plus 105, and we called him. Someone in Discord, I think it was let me put that in. I'll give him a shout out. Let me see here. Who called? He told me about this guy. 1 second, guys. I'm just activate A. Shout out to Activate A, man. He called A. He said he would get this done early, and he got it done early. Rebellious. He's signed to the UFC. We're gonna see him fight in the heavyweight division of UFC now, and he's got some. We're gonna see him in some really good matchups. He's Olympian in I think just in Taekwondo. He's Olympian. I think he's a gold Olympian, Taekwondo Olympian, and he just joined the UFC roster at heavyweight. He's a little bit on the older side, 35 years old, but he got the job done. But he's a big dude, man, 6'7". He got that first round TKO, made it look really easy. He's the minus 120. I think closed at minus 120. So we made money there. And then Carpenter got the job done. Carpenter was another underdog, plus 105 underdog that got the job done. Whitehead made it look easy. Whitehead was minus 350. I mean, Keith, like I parlayed Keith with a couple of fighters, and he got the job done easy. Aguilar, this is the only fighter that I lost on. Aguilar, he was a minus 245, and he dropped the ball. And everyone else came through, man. Everyone else made it look easy. So I'm really happy about yesterday. We had a really good stream yesterday, and I'm looking to bring the fire for the next week, guys. Hit the like down below if you guys enjoyed the content, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Take it easy, and hit the like down below, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. And I gotta upload this video now, and it's already too long, I think 1 hour long. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Take it easy. Later. Take care of yourself, guys.